Welcome to the News Channel 8 PewterReport.com Fantasy Football Forecast. Andrew Scavelli is here. And Andrew, I know we're getting late. We've talked about how we're getting late in the regular season for a lot of teams. Separation has happened. Teams are trying to get in the playoffs. But in honor of Thanksgiving, don't be a turkey. All right, let's be thankful for something here. And first of all, as usual, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What are you thankful for with our Bucs?
Well, I have to say that I'm thankful for the Buccaneers defense because it seems as though they are the only Buccaneers consistent fantasy option at this point. And I say that because whatever opposing players seem to go against them every week, they're always a sure bet for a solid fantasy day.
Eli Manning, a couple touchdowns.
Eli, Saquon Barkley, Odell.
they got their numbers.
Just keep playing guys against them. And certainly this week they play the 49ers.
Right.
I'm expecting really big things out of their quarterback, Nick Mullins, their running back, Matt Breida, and then at tight end, of course, one of the best in the league right now, George Kittle. So
yeah, Matt Breida, by the way, a local guy, right, from Hernando County, Brooksville area. So that'll be cool to see him play in front of friends and family. All right, Jameis Winston, you're curious about his situation moving forward as the starting quarterback. You think he could be a move that's worth making?
Absolutely, and just kind of going into my sneaky plays of the week, certainly guys that are owned in less than 50% of leagues, and I think Jameis at quarterback this week is the obvious choice, simply because believe it or not, I mean, as little turnovers as the Buccaneers defense get, the 49ers defense actually has even less takeaways. So although Jameis is a turnover machine, I'm certainly expecting him to obviously be a little more safer with the ball this week. He's really not in a situation where he has to worry about being benched for Ryan Fitzpatrick yet again. So I think he's going to be safe to play the entire game. I'm certainly thankful that I don't have to make the decision at quarterback with the Buccaneers at the end of the season this year. But this week against the 49ers, they give up, I believe, the 10th most fantasy points to quarterback. Right. So right now, when I look at Jameis Winston, he's definitely a QB1, and my bold prediction is he's going to score 25 fantasy points this week.
Wow, good stuff. All right, let's go through the positions here because, yeah, I know you've been doing the sneaky picks here. Yep. They're out there. They're out there. Who's at running back this week for you?
So at running back, well, first I have to say that I'm thankful for Thanksgiving football. And the first game on the slate on Thursday is going to be the Lions against the Bears. Certainly the Lions have a rookie sensation running back, Kerryon Johnson. But he's most likely going to miss this game. He's doubtful right now with a knee injury. So that's really going to open up opportunities for another one of their running backs, Theo Riddick. And I believe certainly in the passing game, once they got rid of Golden Tate, he really started to come on and get used more there. 2 weeks ago against the Bears, he caught 6 passes. Last week he had 7 targets. And obviously, the Bears are really, really tough against the run. So a guy like LeGarrette Blount, I don't believe he's going to have a big day, but certainly as a guy catching the ball out of the backfield, and I believe the Lions will have to throw the ball a lot, Theo Riddick should be in line for a good PPR performance.
All right. Wide receiver.
So at wide receiver, we have another Thanksgiving game. This time it's going to be the night game, the Saints against the Falcons. And I'm going to have to go with their rookie wide receiver, Tre'Quan Smith. So this past week against the Eagles, he was targeted 13 times. He had 10 catches for 157 yards and a touchdown. He really had his breakout game this past week. And obviously, the Saints, past few weeks, they tried to bring in Dez Bryant. He got injured. They brought in Brandon Marshall. But the Saints have to be thankful that this guy's really emerged as their number 2 wide receiver now, next to Michael Thomas. And certainly the Falcons give up the 5th most fantasy points to wide receivers. So I'm thinking Tre'Quan Smith, hopefully down the line for the Saints, will continue to produce the way he did last week.
And we do our best here to try and forecast the tight ends, but it's like a storm that's going all over the place. So where do you think that storm's going to wind up this week for tight ends?
So this past week, it seems like we just keep getting worse and worse and worse in terms of tight end production. Only 2 tight ends scored double-digit fantasy points. I've never seen anything like that in my life. But if you want to take a flyer on a guy this week, I'm thankful for Smiths. And the Titans have obviously we talked about Tre'Quan Smith, the Saints. Well, the Titans have another one, Jonnu Smith. And in weeks 9 and 10, he scored touchdowns. Last week, he had 8 targets. He's definitely a guy that, as of late, just like what we talked about with Derrick Henry last week, he kind of seems to be picking up production in that offense. This week, I mean, we're not too sure who the quarterback's going to be, but it doesn't really matter because they go up against the Houston Texans, who have given up huge games to tight ends 2 weeks ago against Jeff Heuerman and last week against Jordan Reed. So he's definitely like my #1 flyer option at that position this week.
And real quickly, I'll say go ahead, pick on the Jets. Give me a defense.
Well, I have to say that I'm thankful for the New England Patriots simply because they're only owned right now in about half of leagues, and they have so many favorable matchups down the stretch. And I believe the championship week of the season, they play the Buffalo Bills. So in my opinion, I feel like there'd be a great pickup just to hold on to, just to have as you go through the fantasy playoffs. But even this week against the New York Jets, who give up the 4th most fantasy points, I have the Patriots as a top 5 defense, and the Jets themselves have some quarterback issues. They don't know if Sam Darnold or Josh McCown will play, but it likely won't matter because both of them in their last few starts have been pretty terrible. So.
All right, Andrew, good stuff as always. We are thankful for you, of course. And quick reminder, yes, 3 games on Thursday, so don't mess around if you're setting your lineups.
Set those lineups.
If you're in a playoff chase, do not forget, don't wake up Thursday and go, no, I forgot. Good luck, everybody. Week 12 of the NFL.